Alright, Tyler, let's take a look here at your swing from yesterday. So what I got up is just a face-on view and then down the line view before we made any changes. So let's start with this face-on. I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to draw a line from your head because we want to make sure the head doesn't move. So you can see here, it's a good spot, right on the golf ball. And then I'm going to draw one kind of up the shaft line over here. And now let's take a look. So as we start back, you can see, like we talked about, how much the head travels and the hands don't travel a whole lot. Right here, club face is facing down to the ground, but your head is staying really steady. You can see it's still right on that wall. Like I said, your knee gets pointed in behind the ball, so it shows a good transfer of weight and momentum. Right here, you can see the club face is facing the sky. So from there, you've got to do a whole ton of body rotation. And you can see your body kind of stops rotating there and kind of stands up a little bit. So that's why we give you those sequencing drills to kind of keep that body moving. As we'll see, get a little bit of a collapse in there with the lead arm, but the head stays really steady. Leg action's really good. So all in all, not bad. We just kind of stabilize that club face a little bit more and get your body rotating a little bit more. Now let's take a look at the down the line. So like we talked about, your hands, see how your hands are above the line, the plane line, and the club head's below? That's what's going to cause, as you said, kind of coming over the top of it. So the club face is a little shut, but good players like David Duvall and a few others are in that same position when they played. Dustin Johnson right now, but a lot of body rotation, and then also they don't get the club coming. I mean, look at that. That's, through your face right here. So way, way above plane and down. So it's hard to keep the club face open, like you mentioned, and that's why you get those misses to the right, those pulls. And toe down, as we discussed, you've gone from 57 lie angle to start to 68. So you've made this shaft 11, 12 degrees more upright at impact. So that's why you're getting the toe down. So it's not a lie angle of the club as much as just how you're delivering it to the golf ball. So we'll kind of keep looking at some of these as we go. Through side finish is pretty good. Right here, see how the face is behind you, pointing to the right. If we put up somebody like, let's see, like I told you, we're going to do JB Holmes. So we'll put him here. So there, we got JB on the left. So what it is, I made JB a left-hander as well, so it's easier to compare. So we're going to get you back down to dress. So what you can see here, if you look at this, is look how you both have a good amount of shaft length, right? It's going up, good angle forward, right? So good. So your setup looks about the same. All looks good there. Now let's watch his takeaway. Let's go parallel to the ground. So position 2. Caddy's going to be in the way. But you can even see right there. So you can see some of the club face. Where if we get you even just right off the ball. Your club face is a lot lower. It's almost right on the ground. And you can't see any of the grooves on yours where you can with JB's. So right there, pretty much parallel to the ground. So if I did a line going up the grooves here, this is like 65. You're about 27. So you can see how much more he's got it rotated. Your hands look the same, so it's just how you're kind of taking it away. So doing that one drill with the club in between your feet really, really will help. Okay. Let's keep him going to his top, which isn't very long, which I like. A lot of good players, they tend to stop somewhere right in there. You have a lot more wrist hinge than he's got. But body position, once again, look the same. You got a little bit more shoulder turn. You're loaded in your legs just as well as him. Coming down, look at his elbow right there. Back you up to the same kind of spot. So, pretty similar, right? His hands are a little bit lower. He's got a little bit more left side bend, as we call it. Impact's pretty close to the same. But see, that's the big difference. He's got a little bit too much what I call forward shaft lean. I would like, I prefer to have something there, 168 degrees, where you are kind of the opposite or pretty close to being dead straight. The more we could get your hands forward at impact, the more that club face is going to stay pointing to the left of the target longer and not have as many pulls. And you can see how much more extended he is longer. You can see his hands are further away from his body, extended down the range a lot more than yours are. So just little things like that we need to work on, and that's what those drills really, really are going to do for us. So let me do B here. We'll do JB down the line. Make him lefty again, and then let's get you. So there we go. So the whole point of this video isn't necessarily to get the club head as far out as it is here, but more the hands where they are. So if you look at your hand position right here, it's very, very similar to that of JB Holmes, other than you don't have the shoulder turn just quite yet. And that's because it's a stagnant position. But the other thing is, even in this picture here, look at where your face is pointing versus where his is. So that's why we got to make sure we do a good job of getting basically this right trigger in the left hand trigger rotated up a little bit more. You can kind of see how you're more deflected down than JB is. JB is a lot more not cupped, but his right isn't, or his left hand isn't like facing the ground. So see the difference? See how we can kind of see the valley in that lower hand, and we can't see the valley in yours? So some of that is that it's turned, but you also need to get that facing kind of up to the sky. So whatever feeling you can kind of come up with that will get that feeling for you would be very, very, very helpful. Another position I want to look at here, like we said, he's way more upright, but then look at that club. So I'm going to go here. So that club's pointing like that. Then if I go a few clicks, now the club's pointing like that. A few more clicks. So see how it's fanning downward? Getting flatter. finally, or let's take yours. So yours is, we're going to call it pointing somewhere there. Then there. Then there. So see the difference? That's going to be key. So that's what we really need to work on from the top down. And I think if we put up some of those sequencing videos, this is the club over the top. Oh, so this is a step. So this is the step one. So let's see how this one kind of helps work that out. So you're somewhere in there. So we still got that a little bit. So you really looks like we got to get you kind of more arm swing down, meaning let the arms kind of fall more, get the hands out more, like JB's doing here. Let's see, so this is the club over the top. Oh, no, that's another step. So we got the same motion going. Maybe I didn't get one with the... Yeah, so I think getting this laying down action more to where you feel like your hands go towards a wall, but the club head falls behind you. Kind of just imitate kind of that look a little bit. The other thing I want to show you right here is I'm going to put Jamie Siklowski, so long drive guy up here. And I'm going to move, because what we want to look is the face on. So watch his hands versus the club head here on this takeaway. See how his hands move? That club head's moving, the hands are about the same. They're real even. That's going to be really big for you. And then if we come over here to the down the line, yeah, he's really long, but you can see how the club's getting flatter. Even if we go right here and I draw a line, a couple frames, so see how they fan downward? Club head works behind, his hands work forward. Poof, fan down, you're fanning up. So those are some of the little things that we need to continue doing. The sequencing and those drills that we did are going to help, but it's still going to be a conscious thought of how to get the club to kind of go that direction. So when I email you this, I'll send you some other links as well with some things. Making practice swings or golf swings sitting on a chair or on your knees would really help this fanning of the club down for you. So work on those things, keep doing those drills, and then we'll kind of keep working on shallowing that out a little bit so that we can get a more club head speed, more consistent, and clean up those misses that we get to the right. So all in all, those drills are really going to help make it playable and controllable, and the transition will be easier. Now we just got to do some of these simple little things like shallowing it out, which is just a different feeling that you'll have to kind of work on through off-range drills type of things. Like I said, making golf swings sitting on a chair, on your knees, things like that, to where the club really shallows out. So keep it up. Let me know if you got any questions.